The story starts. Late at night, in a metro train carriage, a woman slowly rises. Her head is wrapped in bandages. She sits there, her face heavy with sadness, drowning in the disappointment of a failed plastic surgery. At the same time, across from her, sits a young student, full of vibrant energy, radiating the freshness of youth. But even this girl doesn't seem satisfied with her own nose. Seeing an advertisement for plastic surgery nearby, a wave of sadness washes over her. Unconsciously, the girl realizes that the bandaged woman is staring right at her. In an instant, a strange unease spreads through her entire body. The woman's gaze feels terrifying, dark. The girl immediately decides to turn away and catch the next train. Slowly, she begins to forget the strange figure she saw in the last carriage. Then, a mysterious and chilling voice echoes in her ears. "Your nose is so beautiful." When she looks toward the voice, she freezes. The bandaged woman has somehow come right behind her, like a ghost. The girl panics, fear and doubt written clearly in her eyes. The voice echoes again, the bandaged woman continuously complimenting her nose. The girl somehow manages to say, "Thank you," but fear has already consumed her to the core, making her entire being tremble. The voice keeps echoing, "Stay happy." When the girl turns to look, the woman's face bears a terrifying smile that sends shivers down her spine, her eyes fixed directly on the girl's nose. The girl notices that the woman is holding some unknown liquid in her hand. Terrified, she runs toward the nearby station platform, trying to hide somewhere far away. When she looks back again, she's shocked. The woman has vanished without leaving a trace. The girl looks around frantically, realizing she never imagined in her wildest dreams that she would encounter such a mentally unstable person at a metro station, someone with an obsessive need to socialize, who would start playing a bizarre, horrifying game with her, a game that seems to have no limits whatsoever. At that very moment, the girl realizes with shock that no one around her seems to sense the presence of the striped cow-like person. Hearing the approaching footsteps and the insane actions of the figure in front of her, she quickly pulls out her phone. But nothing unusual appears on the phone's camera, even as the footsteps grow louder. Terrified, the girl screams and sees that the figure is holding a bottle of strong acid. She immediately starts running to save her life, while the striped person follows her, cackling in a strange, eerie way. After a while, the girl quietly hides inside the restroom at the station and calls the police. But during the questioning, one of the officers accidentally slips and asks if she is hiding in the restroom, even describing some features of the insane woman. Hearing this, the girl is stunned. She had never mentioned anything about her attacker's appearance. At that moment, a faint, terrifying laugh comes through the phone. When the girl looks up toward the top of the toilet stall, she sees a full cup of strong acid aimed straight at her, ready to be poured onto her face at any second. Even more horrifying, the exit is completely blocked. Ultimately, the girl dies in the Guangning Station restroom, slowly burned by the strong acid. It is said that over 40 people have either gone missing or lost their lives at this very station. It is as if this place is the literal gateway to hell, hiding some terrifying and diabolical truth behind it. The station master of Guangning, Old Choi, is immersed every day in all kinds of rumors and stories. He is fully aware of all the terrifying tales circulating inside the station. The story of the striped creature, which was just recounted, was something he casually told Mina, who was sitting right in front of him. Mina is a video blogger who specializes in horror content and is affiliated with an MCN agency. Lately, the videos she made were getting steadily fewer views. So she heads to the notoriously haunted Gwangnyeong station to investigate some truly terrifying events. Just as she expected, after uploading the video about the striped cow attacking a person, she notices a clear spike in her channel's stats. Tasting the sweetness of this success, Mina once again visits Gwangan Station to meet the station's master, Old Choi, and asks him if he has even scarier stories to share. At the same time, brings out a fine bottle of aged liquor. Seeing such an expensive drink, Old Choi's face lights up with joy, and as he sips the liquor, he begins to tell Mina another story. Ado was an extremely arrogant young man who had failed a prestigious college entrance exam. On ordinary days, he always wore a scowling expression. Whether facing a person or an animal, he would mock anyone he saw. One day, while he was secretly insulting an elderly man in a drunken stupor, his eyes fell on a woman nearby doing something strange, repeatedly banging her head against the glass door that was seemingly coming out of her head. At that very moment, a train stops at the metro station, and people start rushing out. But it was as if no one noticed the strange woman. As the train starts moving again, the sound of her head hitting the glass grows even louder. Against the iron wall, it's as if she's deliberately trying to draw Ado's attention. The elderly man sitting across, terrified by what he sees, immediately moves to the next car. On the outside, Ado tries to look nonchalant, but inside, he's extremely frightened, and he too starts running after. Then, to make himself seem normal, he curses at the woman and starts playing a mobile game. Just at that moment, his mother calls and asks how he's doing. Ado lies, saying he's studying in class. But his mother has already learned from his teacher that he hasn't attended tuition classes for the past 2 months. Irritated, Ado hangs up. Immediately after, several messages from his mother arrive, telling him that a 20-year-old girl at Gwangnyeong Station had committed suicide by jumping onto the tracks due to poor academic results. She warns her son never to take a wrong step under too much pressure. Seeing the girl who committed suicide in the video, Ado's eyebrows knit together. Her clothes and gestures are exactly like what he had seen just a little while ago. He turns around nervously. At that moment, Ado is completely stunned and realizes that he has confronted something unholy. And the elderly man sitting in the same train car was not an ordinary person either. It's as if he, too, is under the control of some shadow. He begins to behave strangely, moving unnaturally as if colliding with invisible iron bars. As Ado turns around, the woman suddenly appears right in front of him. His mind goes completely blank. Only his eyes remain wide open, darting from the elderly man to the woman. Suddenly, the train car's lights go out, plunging everything into complete darkness. He takes out his phone and looks around, but both the elderly man and the woman are gone. Somehow, Ado pulls himself together from his state of fear. His entire face is drenched in sweat. The metro stops at the station, and without thinking, he runs. Strangely, this station is exactly the place where the most bizarre events occur, Gwangnyeong Station. Ado looks ahead and sees police yellow caution tape, realizing this is the very spot where the girl had committed suicide. Then, from behind, he hears that familiar chilling sound of collision again. He glances sideways and realizes he still hasn't escaped this nightmare. A cold wave of fear runs through his heart. A tear falls from Otto's eye. After hearing this story, Mina becomes completely absorbed in it. Her mind is filled with countless questions, and she asks old Choi where he even heard this story from. But no matter how many times Mina asks, old Choi doesn't answer. Instead, he yells loudly that he's drunk. After that, he lies down on the bed and becomes completely unconscious. Later, in the dead of night, when the station is empty, Mina films all the shots she needs for the video at Gwangnam Station. Once the work is done, she calls her boss, Ah Hao, to get his feedback and analysis of the video. After watching it, Ah Hao finds the story fresh and the content engaging with a fast pace. But one thing bothers him. Why does a human shadow appear inside the vending machine at the metro station? The more they watch the video, the stranger and more suspicious it seems. For this reason, the next night, Mina goes back to station master old Choi with alcohol. Faced with Mina's relentless questions, old Choi finally tells a strange story related to the vending machine. He explains that once, there was a man who used to take the metro to work every day. But after being fired from his company, he fell into alcoholism. His life completely fell apart, and he became a homeless man wandering the metro station. That day, he wanted to eat a hot bowl of instant noodles. But after checking his pockets, he had only 2,001, 501 short. The coins he had were picked up near the vending machine after someone else accidentally dropped them. Then the homeless man finds a strange red coin. He doesn't know what it's for, so he keeps it in his pocket. At that moment, a security guard who used to torment him shows up and takes away all the money he had collected. Angry and helpless, the man stands in front of the vending machine, staring at the cans inside. Then he notices something. The retail price of a cola matches exactly the red coin in his hand. Hoping to try his luck, he inserts the coin into the machine, and sure enough, he gets a cola. But just as he's about to open the can, the sound of someone vomiting nearby catches his attention. The homeless man turns to look, then pulls the ring on the can. Unfortunately, it's an empty can. He starts cursing in anger. But that very act changes the course of his life. When he lifts his head again, the man who had been vomiting has suddenly vanished. On the ground, there's only a pile of leather shoes and clothes, and out of nowhere, 2 more red coins bounce into view. At first, the homeless man doesn't take it too seriously. He grabs the bills from the clothes and heads to a convenience store, eating to his heart's content. But the 5,001 runs out quickly, leaving him with just a few loose coins. After a brief indulgence, when he's broke again, he returns to the dark underground station. But just as he's about to leave, another automatic vending machine suddenly appears behind him. Seeing the red packaged cola inside, he knows the can might be empty. But by now, he also has a sense of what these empty cans are really for. The homeless man quickly drops a coin into the machine and takes a can in hand. His darkest desires start growing without any limit. Just then, the security guard who always tormented him shows up. Seeing the homeless man now dressed well, the guard is sure he must have a lot of money in his pocket and steps forward, laughing. Meanwhile, the homeless man focuses completely on the can and pulls the ring. Suddenly, the security guard's body begins to change in a strange way. slowly disappearing until all that remains on the ground is a pile of clothes. The homeless man steps back in fear, unable to understand what kind of irrational power is at work. That's when he sees the guard who had vanished flailing inside the vending machine like a madman. It's then that the homeless man realizes this is a can that swallows humans. Seeing the 3 coins bounce and fall to the ground again, the thought of becoming rich is born in his mind. After that, he completely sheds his old cowardly nature and starts roaming around the station, targeting well-dressed passengers. He steals all their belongings and tosses their clothes haphazardly into the toilet stalls. As the number of victims rapidly increases, the homeless man becomes completely carefree about food, drink, and clothing. He grows even more uncontrollable, becoming a full slave to his desires. But as the saying goes, the crazier a man becomes, the quicker his punishment comes. One night, as usual, he returns to the station drunk after drinking. That's when he notices a man standing near the eerie vending machine, wearing clothes just like his own. The homeless man tries to look closely, but the more he looks, the more unsettling it feels. Suddenly he feels nauseous and bends over, vomiting violently. This draws the attention of the man standing nearby, who slowly turns to look at him. It's then revealed that this man is the very same person who was once the homeless man himself. Ultimately, in his race for greed, he is consumed by another version of himself. After using the dark stories narrated by the station master as scripts, Mina's videos suddenly go viral in a huge way. The company, which was once at the bottom of the rankings, jumps straight into the top 3. Seeing Xiao Ming, whom she had always considered beneath her, suddenly rises. Her colleague Lena feels a surge of jealousy. Taking advantage of this trend, Lena, a beauty blogger, heads to Guangninyang Station for a live stream. Suddenly, the train brakes sharply, and Lena narrowly avoids falling. She grabs the handrail to steady herself, but her right hand is coated with an unknown liquid. She quickly wipes it off with a tissue. Yet the next day, 3 red marks appear on her palm. Frightened, Lena rushes to the hospital. The doctor asks her if she has recently touched anything dirty or suspicious. After thinking for a long time, Lena finally remembers the incident that happened in the metro yesterday. Hearing this, the doctor says it's probably a bacterial infection and writes her a medicated ointment, also advising her to monitor her condition for a few days. On her way home, Lena runs into her rival Mina. With a fake smile, Lena asks how she's doing and wishes her luck in her career. But in reality, not only are they professional rivals, they both secretly have feelings for their boss, Ah Hao. As they talk, suddenly blood starts gushing from Lena's nose like a stream that won't stop. Panicked, she runs straight into the restroom. The sheer volume of blood is clearly abnormal. Frantically, she wipes it away, but then she notices numerous tiny holes appearing on her palms. Seeing this, her hair stands on end. At the same moment, she hears someone approaching outside. Afraid of being recognized, she quickly hides in a toilet stall. Over time, the tiny holes spread from her hands to her arms, and eventually over her entire body. Terrified, she reaches for the ointment the doctor gave her, but unable to face the reality before her, her hands shake violently, causing the ointment to slip and fall to the floor. A passerby picks it up. Lena refuses to accept help. She doesn't have the courage to call for help and yells at the person to leave. Soon, greenery begins sprouting from the holes and large plants grow over her body. Finally, Lena collapses in the stall forever, transforming into a plant. Although her death is excruciatingly painful, in her own way, it's the beautiful death she always wanted. The camera shifts, and Mina once again approaches Station Master Old Choi, asking if he has ever heard of the Guangnan cult. During her investigation, Mina discovers that the Guang Station used to be the church of this cult. 40 followers had committed mass suicide to make their leader immortal. This is why mysterious deaths keep occurring at the Guangnan metro station. To get more views, Min Guangnan wants to interview the members of the cult. She asks the station master if he knows anything about their exact location. At first, the station master doesn't want to share this information and advises Mina to stop pursuing it. But once a person gets a taste of success, stopping becomes extremely difficult. Reluctantly, the station master tells Mina how she can meet them. He says that every night, a train arrives at the station exactly at 3:24. If she boards that train, she can find them. At this moment, only 4 minutes remain until the train arrives. Filled with excitement, Mina begins to wait. Suddenly, she hears the sound of a cat and starts walking in that direction. All the platform lights suddenly turn on, revealing a middle-aged man sitting there for who knows how long with a cat bag hanging on his back. Just then, the train arrives at the station right on time. Without thinking much, she boards the first train sits nearby. When she looks back, the man is still sitting on the bench and hasn't boarded the train. Mina breathes a sigh of relief, only for the man to suddenly appear right in front of her. She tries to move away, but no matter what she does, it feels as if a magnet inside her body is constantly pulling the man's gaze toward her. As soon as Mina gets up to leave, the man immediately stands and follows her. Then Mina realizes that inside the cat bag is not a cat, but her own head. As soon as Mina steps off the train, the next scene shows her going to work at her company. At the same time, 2 police officers arrive. The reason is that Mina's video had become extremely popular, which caught the police's attention. During the investigation, the police discovered that the station master mentioned in the video, Old Choi, had actually died 3 years ago. The current station master of Guangnan Station is someone else, named Old Wong, not Old Choi. As soon as he hears this, Ah Hao immediately rushes to Guangninyang Station with Mina. At the same moment, an old, dilapidated train slowly arrives and stops at the platform. Mina steps forward and enters one of the train cars, where she spots Station Master Old Choi's walkie-talkie. She picks it up and tries to make a call. After a short while, Old Choi's voice comes through. One by one, he recounts the entire story of his death that night. That night, he was on duty with his colleague Xiao Ma when he noticed a strange shadow on the CCTV blocking the tracks. Old Choi assumed it might be a drunk wandering around, so he sent Xiao Ma to check. But even after half an hour, Xiao Ma didn't return and had completely disappeared. Forced, Old Choi set out to find him himself. While searching in all directions, suddenly, an extremely old train appeared behind him, covered with letters written in blood. Being the station master, Old Choi stepped forward to investigate. But the train suddenly accelerated, and he had no idea where it was taking him. All he could feel was an intense heat inside the carriage, so much that even his leather shoes started to melt. Then, through the window, he sees Xiao Ma. A wave of relief and joy fills his heart. But as time passes, he realizes it isn't Xiao Ma at all. It's his own mobile phone, lifted by a mysterious figure. That figure is undoubtedly the leader of the Guangnang cult. Soon after, the train moves again, and black hands emerging from beneath the floor slowly drag old Choi inside. After learning the full truth, Mina realizes her own perilous situation. The Guangnanyang cult's church is a place from which no one returns once they enter. Meanwhile, the train starts moving again, and Mina is about to be taken as a sacrifice for the cult leader. As the train moves farther away, Mina suddenly sees old Choi's face transform into her own. That's when she understands. From the beginning, old Choi was never real. He was the evil cult leader all along. Now, using Mina's body, he plans to trap Ah Hao, who had come searching for her. And with this revelation, the ghostly train story ends. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Also subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.